Well, good evening and welcome. Welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Fox Chair, on the show this evening. Is the good, the bad, and the ugly. Jaffa, Linda, and Bridge. Evening, people.
Evening, Ox. How are you? Evening, Linda, and evening, Bridge.
How did I get the ugly?
Evening, everyone.
Well, let's just say I know that Jaffa's no good.
I can say a big good evening to yourself, Fox Chair, and obviously the two comrades there, Linda and Jaffa, and to obviously a techie boys round it. Can I just say to all the Rangers fans listening in all over the world, good evening. Welcome to Rangers Radio.
Okay, obviously it's a long international break coming to an end now, Jaffa. All the players starting to come back. I see that Cifuentes came back early. So I read, don't know how true it is, that they didn't think he was fit enough. Should he have went? But with these mad rules, you've got to turn up here.
Well, that's the rules of the international breaks. Ox, if they're called up, they've got to attend. Quite often, their own medical teams are looking to do put the rule over them and determine whether they're fit enough or not fit enough. So, in that case, it looks like, why they can't do all that before he travels halfway around the world to go and meet up with a pool of players and ultimately not get any game time. But it's good that they sent him back early. At least that's one decent thing, Ox, that he's returned.
Yeah, it's strange, Linda, isn't it? The people that pay your wages haven't got any say. Yeah. You know, if you've got a sick note, you've got a sick note.
Yeah, that's right, Ox. It's just the rules and regulations, and it's good that these guys are getting called up for their country because the possibility is that they're playing well for us. Although Cifuentes had been injured, hadn't he? And I think he got injured away in the last international break. But it's difficult, and I think Clement will just be hoping he gets everybody back and there are not any injuries. Because let's face it, we've had enough injuries so far this season, Ox, haven't we?
Aye. I know that people have different thoughts and what the other side of the city have done by the people from Japan and that, but Bridgeman, I know you when they sign players for Scotland, but I would think long and hard about signing players that's going to travel constantly around the world.
Well, it's a good and bad in it, isn't there? Some of them are really skillful players that would obviously enhance the squad. The difficulty is, we had the same problem with Morelos, and sometimes he sort of fell by the wayside, if you follow what I mean, by not coming back right in time, So we've got to put up with that if we're going to have these people on. Yeah. And where I say again, I have to say, I don't want to defend Scotland. I really don't. Unless we get them for nothing, that's all I want.
Jeff, I don't know what it's like. You've seen me when I get here with a bump into a back Carolinas.
It's a balancing act, Ox, isn't it? It's a balancing act. I remember when we had all the African boys when we were away to the African Nations Cup, when we had Aribo, Kamara. Sorry, not Kamara, Balogun and Bassey. And it did leave us short at that point, Ox, because we were going into a real big run of games. And I agree with you about your signing policy. I think you've got to spread yourself. I think you just, some of these clubs, again, looking over the border, they've got 5, 6, 7 players, going to competitions, and it just decimates their squad. I think the closer you can get your players in and around Europe, I think the better for travelling distances. It's even like Ridvan going away to play with Turkey. He's flying out to Glasgow. He's got a 6.5-hour flight ahead of him or whatever it is to get to, wherever he's going to, whether, Istanbul or Izmir or wherever their training camp is. It's a long flight, Ox, and even further for the South American boys. So I'm in agreement with you there. I would be careful about where you're signing your players from. I think you've got to take all that into consideration.
Linda?
Yeah, I totally agree with Jaffa. It just depends what sort of market we're able to shop in, isn't it? Because if you think about Alfredo Morelos, I know we picked him up from an Icelandic team. Was that right, Ox? He'd gone from Colombia to there. Finnish team, was it?
Jonathan Johansson,
Jonathan Johansson spotted him, but obviously,
I don't think there's anything in Iceland anymore.
No. No, there isn't. We used to do some good frozen pizzas, but never mind. No, it was, I suppose when you think about it like that, there are sort of, talented players, and it just depends what sort of market we're able to shop in. But somebody like Alfredo, unfortunately, circumstances were that he ran down his contract, but fit and firing Alfie, he was worth, £18 million we knocked back at one point for him. But as Jack says, allegedly, aye. But it can be difficult when you've got all the travelling.
Just we digress, like we always do, Jaffa. Were Kent and Morelos ill-advised in your opinion?
Well, I guess it depends on what the weekly salary was and contract deals. I mean, in Morelos' case, definitely, Ox. Absolutely, but I'm not going to lie, Ox. I mean, for what I've snippets I've heard and what I've seen and what I've read, I think that the reality with Alfredo was, I mean, I know we spoke briefly about giving him a new contract, but I think his fitness had got to a level, and maybe probably his attitude, Ox, had got to a level where the club simply were left with no option. He was unsignable, and that's what's proved to be the case. I mean, I still go back to my point, Ox. I think what's probably ruined Alfredo Morelos is the amount of money he's earned at our club during the period that he was there. He's got to age 26, and I genuinely don't think you'll see Alfredo Morelos again playing at elite football. He's never signing for a European club. Never. Not at that level, not at the way his fitness levels are at the moment. And he's back out with another injury, and I think that tells you its own story. The guy's just not looking after himself off the pitch. And if you're not doing that, clubs are not going to sign you, and that's where he's ended up. But he's walked away probably an extremely wealthy young man. But if that's what he set out to achieve and get to age 26 and essentially wrap his football career up, I think ill-advised, Ox. I mean, just not having the right agent team round about him, but and the right professional people round about him, telling him, giving him the right guidance and keeping him healthy, essentially. But I would have thought every professional footballer that was about, well, I mean, I've never played at the level these guys have played at or anywhere close to it. But for me, it would always have been about the actual sport itself and playing and getting your boots on a Saturday and going out and scoring goals and winning matches and getting trophies and winning silverware. But for a lot of the guys in the modern day, they don't see it that way, Ox, do they?
Funny you should mention that. I read an article over the weekend for the guy Marvin. Let me get his name right. He's a Marvin Bartley, who does a bit of the TV work, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he was saying about, obviously, he's the manager of Queen of the South. I think he played down south and came up and played with, I think, Hibs and Livingston. I've not checked it, but definitely Livingston. So he's working his way in the managerial game, and he says that they're doing programmes for lads to get fit when they've got issues, Bridgeman. Remember, they're professional footballers. There's no scaffolders, there's no brickies, yeah?
Yeah.
And they've got problems with their hamstrings, and they've got A, B, and C, and they're spending 8 hours gaming and making their injury worse.
Absolutely.
And then we wonder how we can produce players,
Yeah, it's all there. All the things you've said, it's been said before. We're not looking after the players, in my opinion, not correctly. But they've got a wee bit of time to themselves, and they're not using that correctly either. So they're allowed to, say, go into pasture, because that's what it sounds like. Look, you asked the question about Kent and Morelos. No, they were ill-advised, very badly ill-advised. For 2 years, we kind of ignored the fact that they two didn't want to play for us anymore, and didn't. Well, we knew about it, didn't do anything about it. And Jaffa's right. You get a player of the quality that Morelos had at his height, that guy was playing in European league, top of the European level, and was walking it, And all of a sudden, and same with Ryan Kent, all of a sudden they can't get a game. They can't get a game. No. What do you want to sign them? Sorry, pal.
Attitude, mate. It's all about attitude at the top level. You need that attitude there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. He's got a pen and a bit of paper handy.
Right.
Right, okay. You're right, Jaffa. Shouting one of the Waynes to help you write this down. Right. I'm going to ask you, who are you? Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm going to do the same. I'm going to give you a series of questions as we go through the night, yeah?
Yeah.
And people can phone in if they get the answer before you, yeah? Welcome to phone in. But I'll give you one question, we'll slowly build it up, yeah? It's going to be hard at first, and you'll get a guess, yeah? All right? You understand, Jaffa? Oh, we lost Jaffa. You'll be...
It's on Google already.
Nah, no help him with this one, Linda. Trust me. You confident, Bridge? You're the history man.
I'm history, you're absolutely right.
Only because you've covered history years, mate.
History, absolutely.
Oh, Jaffa's looking for a sharp crane. I've been messaged. Right, here we go. Right, don't worry. There'll be more clues, Linda. Right?
Right, okay.
Okay. Right. We lost our opening game of the season. We lost our opening game of the season. Stabbing at that, Linda. What season?
92-93.
Nope. Bridge?
This year, or this season?
No. You back with us, Jaffa?
86, 87.
Nope. All right. We'll leave it at that, right? There'll be another clue coming up shortly, all right?
Okay.
Yeah? Okay. Oh, you're thinking there, Linda, aren't you?
Oh, yes. Quite
That's
like this
Rangers
game.
you're talking about now. That's Rangers you're talking about.
Yeah. I'll give you a wee snippet here, it might help.
Right.
I didn't say it was a league match, did I?
Oh my God.
Okay.
Okay, just leave it at that. All right. Right, okay, so the guys come back for fitness and we'll see where we'll go. Comments. The medical staff will be paying on them after it's gone, Jaffa.
I heard he's chatting the other night there, Ox. What's that? Is it down to 4 or something we've got on the treatment table?
Yeah, Scott Wright, Suter, Rotondo, who I missed it. Is that it?
Lovelace, if you ask him in. Lovelace.
Anybody else? That's about it, isn't it?
Yeah, Raskin's back, isn't he?
Raskin's back, yeah.
I tell you what, if it stays at that level, we could almost work with that, couldn't we? I mean, it'd be nice to have them all back and have a full quota.
Linda?
Yeah, and I think we're realistic that there's always going to be injuries. It's the number of injured players that we have, and this has been consistent for the last sort of 2 to 3 seasons, hasn't it? And it's also, we're told that they're maybe going to be out for a couple of weeks, then that turns into sort of 6 weeks. I don't think you can legislate for, longer term injuries, Ox, like, young Hadji, when you think about him coming back from that terrible injury and he's trying to get his career back on track. But certainly we can get some of these players back. It's quite exciting to think that, what sort of tune that their manager can get out of them, because he's turned around the form of a few of them already. And it's just going to make us stronger going forward, Ox. It's quite exciting to think about what the team's going to be like in the next few weeks.
Jeff, we know we've not been playing as well as we could under Beale, and the players were underperforming. You could argue that the management team were underperforming. Can this guy improve by as much as 20%? Is that fair? Or we've been deluded that with this group of players we can get that kind of tune?
I mean, don't get me wrong, Ox. As much as I'm surprised at how much of a turnaround we've had in such a short space of time, I guess the best thing in all of it has been. It's probably not been the performances, but the results. Some of the performances, I mean, we've still been a wee bit, get turned in a 45-minute performance on a few occasions. Like the game against Hearts, where we were 1-0 down for the best part of 90 minutes, and pulled it back. So, but whatever way is the attitude of the players, Ox. And I mean, I think he probably can get another. I wouldn't maybe go as far as 20%, but I mean, if he even got another 10% out of the players, I think that would be a remarkable turnaround. I think a lot of it, Ox, it's like everything in football, isn't it? When you start winning matches, the attitude changes, doesn't it? It just it's momentum, and that's what he's created, Ox. He's created a momentum, and the players have started believing in themselves. I think more importantly, but he certainly seems to be getting a tune out of him. And listen, to be fair to Clement, this is the first time he's had a chance to even probably work with him on the training ground since he got in.
I don't think so. If you were scoring it before I got to Bridgeman and then Linda, just quickly, how far would you say he's improved? Is 5, 10? What's your figure, just roughly?
I would say at the moment between 5 and 10%. I think he's improved the team.
Okay. Same question yourself, Bridge.
The improvement in the team has been absolutely phenomenal, based on our eyes, my eyes anyway. A few other people that are close to me up in the Coatland. I think I don't know if Java said 7 or 13 there. Was it 13 did you say, Java? I would have gone away up to 80% or something like that. That's what I would say.
I said 5 or 10%.
Is that the improvement in the team? Is that what you're talking about? It's just out of this world. The improvement is incredible, in my opinion.
Hi, Linda. Same to you. Same question to you.
Yeah, I think maybe slightly more. If you compare it to, if you take the games just immediately prior to him coming in, I know they were devoid of confidence, but if you think about losing to Aberdeen, away at Aris Limassol, and then even the St Mirren result 3-0, even though that was an important victory, Ox, if you even just compare, the last sort of 4 games under Clement there to those 3, it's like night and day. So I know where Jaffa's coming from. I would say maybe slightly higher. I would maybe look 15-20% based on those 2 comparisons, albeit there's still a lot more to come.
Higher, lower.
You make a good argument, Lyndon Bridge. I mean, maybe 5 to 10 is being unfair. It probably is. I mean, it's significant. Put it this way. So 5 or 10% is no. It's not exactly significant, is it? So it might be near the 20% mark. But I guess what I'm trying, maybe where I was more, my brain was, I still think there's more to come, Ox. I think he can still get more out of them.
That's good, mate. I'm pleased with that. I'm also pleased that you found your brain, mate.
It's been a long day.
Oh, dear. Right, we better get these phone lines opened, huh?
Yep.
It sounds like you've been sniffing paint, Jaffa.
I'm on the Dulux Bridge.
I thought you'd be walking about with a crown on your head. At least you got it, Linda. Let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Right, you ready for an R clue?
Yes.
Jaffa?
Mm-hmm.
We lost both were opening league games.
Right.
Anybody ready for a go? You ready for a go, Jaffa?
I'm not even getting a flashback here. What, would you tease us with an era, Ox?
Sorry, you're breaking up there, Jaffa. You've just ruined my vision of Irene Cara. But the Flashdance was always Irene Cara. Now I've got you in it.
82, 83?
Nope. Linda?
0405?
Oh, nope. Bridgman?
12-13.
Nope. Was that no the Barrett Burn?
13-14.
13-12, wasn't it? Sorry, Bridge. Right, okay. Yeah. Come and join us. More clues to come if you think you know what season it is. What season it is. Right. You want another?
Another clue, yeah. Go on.
Go for it.
You sure?
Yeah.
Right, okay. Right, well, let me just make sure I get this right, yeah? I don't want to get it wrong. We only drew 2 league matches all season. Okay. Keep your thoughts. Keep your thoughts, right? More to come. Well, I can see your brain ticking on, Linda.
That's a noise.
Right, aye. So, if there's meant to come on. Jaffa and then Linda and Bridge. I just see that we're a bit wider. The fullbacks are a bit wider when we're on possession, which means they've not got so much ground to cover. Yeah, there's faults in every system, I get that. And then when we go wide, we go forward, we move the ball quicker forward. And we've also got some more width. We're not playing everybody within the penalty box. There is some width in the team. Might come for the fullbacks, it might come for the midfielders, might come for the forwards herself, but there's more width in the team that was under Michael Beale. No, I don't know if that's accident or design. Linda.
Yeah, I think you're right, Ox. There is more width because I think that's something that we were kind of crying out for. We were far too narrow. We seem to have been relying on our 2 fullbacks just crossing the ball into the box constantly without trying to even play through the teams, to create chances. I just think he's asking us to be a lot more direct, kind of all over the pitch as well, Ox. If you look at somebody like John Lundstrom, who's been a bit more attacking and he seems to be moving me a bit more pace about him, and we're getting the ball forward more quickly. And when we win the ball, we're releasing the ball quicker as well. We're not passing it back as much. So I think there's a lot more pace about the team. There's a lot more kind of intensity, but he might be looking to even get more width, because if you get somebody like Rabbi Matondo back as well, Ox, I think that'll help the cause.
Wait a minute, we need to stop. We've had our first caller in who must think they've got the answer, Jaffa. Evening, caller.
Good evening, troops. How are you?
Good.
Hi, Southside.
Oh, wait a minute. Ian, you have a big prize here. Have you got a guess, mate?
I'll go 98-99 season.
Thanks for the call. Don't be a stranger, and we'll speak to you soon, caller.
That'll be right. That'll be right.
No
You know
chance.
I'm... What, is that not right?
No, thank you.
So we get beaten another first game of the season, is that what you're telling me?
You need to listen to the clues, mate. Thanks for the call. Don't be a
Aye,
stranger.
it'll be a super cup tie then. That's fine. I'm going to go. No, I've just been humiliated, but I was right. We get beat 98-99 season by Hearts at Tynecastle.
Look, you've not got the right answer. Look, I'm sorry.
2 games of a league season. The last question. First
What, Bridge?
2 games. It's the first 2 games of a
Oh,
league
is it?
season.
I didn't hear that.
I'll repeat the clues. We lost the first game of the season, competitive game of the season. We also lost our first 2 league games. And we only drew twice in the league campaign. All right.
So the first game was a competitive game.
I said that, didn't I?
Right.
Oh, the minds are working here. Where were we?
Right, I'm off. I was just humiliated when I only heard the first question. I was
Phone in when
thinking
you get it right.
Hearts
Phone in
at
when you get it right.
Tynecastle, and I thought that's it. And then you've added questions on which I never heard.
Right. Go and have
Right.
another think.
All
Come
right.
back in when you get it right.
Aye, okay. Right, enjoy your night
Cheers.
trips.
Cheers,
Cheers, mate.
Bye.
Cheers, Jaffa.
Oh, he's getting rid of Jaffa.
I'm still here, Bridge.
Oh, sorry. Southside, apologies. Sorry, Jaffa.
No worries, mate. No worries.
Right, so male width, is it that simple? Linda?
No, I don't think so. We're getting a bit more width, as I said there, but I think we're being a bit more direct when we're winning the ball back. Hawks, we're playing it forward more. I think I was saying there that players like John Lundstrom, he was one pace, mainly slow a lot of the time, but even he's kind of moving quicker. And we're trying to get the ball forward as quickly as possible. Even Tav, he's not passing the ball back as much. So a lot more kind of intensity about the play, I think, Ox.
Jaffa, then the Bridge?
I think Linda's right, Ox, in all of that. I think there's a lot of things at play. There's a lot of more rotation going on with the team as well, which is ultimately down to probably their fitness levels getting better because they're moving better, and we're certainly sitting a lot higher up the park, which is really good to see, which means we're able to pin teams back quite a lot. So I can see there's a lot of rotation going through, especially the middle of the park to front. There's a lot of players moving about into different zones and different positions, and I think the back four, I don't think you can underestimate the role that they're playing as well, Ox, because we're breaking the lines all the time. Every time there's a gap, whether it's Balogun, even Golson has been doing it, and Ben Davies has been doing it as well. So they've been breaking the lines. So there's a lot of things at play, Ox, a lot of positive stuff at play. I mean, Tom Warren's coming back into the fold, I think. So if we can get his fitness levels up, he can make us a. I know Michael Beale said when Cifuentes was joining, it was going to take us to the next level. Tom Lawrence is a real quality player, Ox, and I think he slots in well into your team. I think there's a lot to come for him.
Aye, Bridge?
Yeah, I think I agree with Jaffa. There's an awful lot to come with our teams, and I don't know whether at the present moment whether he's got enough of the unfit players back to create this width in the team. I don't think we're wide enough at the moment, but I think we've got players in there that can give you the width, and that's what we're needing. I think that's what we're needing anyway, and people keep mentioning it. We're playing too narrow, and we're sort of digging a hole for ourselves, and theoretically, But I do think Java was right that the manager is going to have to do it, and he's good at doing it. So we need to watch the space, make sure he picks it up. Because I see Matondo is going to be a good wide player, and him and Seema could be good wide players for the both. That's the way I look at it anyway. And I'm hopeful that we're going to get there. And the young lad that came on, was it the boy's name there, Northern Ireland? What was his name? Oh, for God's sake, never mind. Can't remember. McCausland, aye. He looks a really tidy player, and and looks like a natural right winger, in my opinion.
Okay. All right. Right, be ready for another clue?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
We competed in 4 tournaments. Okay, anybody want to have a guess?
That doesn't really help. That's every season.
Does it not? Does it not? Well, leave it, and we'll come back. I'll come back to you, yeah?
Yes.
Right. There's a big clue coming shortly, Linda. Maybe about 8:45, right?
Oh. We're so glad to hear it, Ox.
Can you wait that long? Southside never heard the other two questions, so he's mentioned something about see me next Tuesday or something like that. I don't know what that means. Right, it's a simple game. I think the managers come in. I think the players, some of them, so let's be honest, Lundstrom, Jack, etc., they're all playing for the professional futures, be it with us or with another club. So maybe sat them down, simple, explained them, this is how it is. You in or you know in, and people have responded. Is that experience, or is this guy got something we didn't know he had? Because I don't know about you, Linda, I knew nothing about him.
No, I didn't know very much. The obligatory YouTube or the actually just even look at who he was, and then Googling him to find out who he'd managed before, and he's won things as a player and also as a manager. When you recognise that, you thought, well, he might be a good fit for us. I think he seems to. I mean, we've been saying this since he came in. The way he handles the media, all the questions that he's asked. He's very good with them, very well. Media trained. And I don't think it's just him putting on a show, because I think he just comes over quite naturally as well. There is something about him, and I just think that, as you say, football should be a simple game. And I just think, if you think about that game when we played Dundee, when we scored 5 goals, I mean, we hadn't seen that type of away performance, for a while, and it was nice to just see them, being able to knock 5 past a team, with all due respect to them. But we should be maybe turning up and putting performances like that in, Ox.
Aye, I agree. Gaffer then, Bridge?
Yep, I think it is a simple game, Ox, but I think it's like everything. Dressing rooms are complex places, especially in the modern game, and our dressing room's no different. I think the players have bought into very quickly, Ox. I'd never heard of the guy. I mean, I know we've said it on the show. I'd never heard of Philippe Clement until the press up here started talking about it, and on Follow and various other Rangers platforms. But that was the first I'd heard of him, and I think the players have bought in and believe in what he's trying to do. And I think he probably is just really straight down the middle. He talks like that. He comes across like that. He's got a steeliness about him, Ox, that I really like. I think he fits our club really well. I can see why our board have chosen him. I like he's got a kind of real strength about him, power. And I don't think he'll let the media, as Linda was talking about there, I don't think he'll let them. I mean, they've tried it on in the early few press conferences. He's just not. He only says what he needs to say, and then end of the press conference, and he's doing his work, where he should be, behind closed doors. And for me, I think the players have all got a lease of life off him. You can see that, Ox, with some of the performances some of the players are putting in is brilliant. And you touched on at the start of the show there about Ryan Jack last night. I think Ryan Jack looks fitter. I think he looks healthier. I think a lot of players look fitter, and a lot of them look healthier. John Lundstrom for one, and there's numerous players that have really picked their game up. It's only the beginning. So let's see what else he can bring to the team throughout the season.
I get that, how you can change in a few days. I had 5 days with you, and I wasn't fit.
Can I have a stab at your question?
Oh, Fox is in. Fox, I'm gonna go.
I'm going to have a stab at Jock Wallace's treble season, 75-76.
Thanks for the call. Don't be a stranger.
Ah, well, I'm lucky.
There's a big clue coming at 9:15. Thank you.
That's a spell. Unlucky, Fox.
Go on thinking, Linda. Go on thinking.
God.
The next clue is a belter. A belter. Right. We have been joined with somebody who'll be close to Fox's heart. And I think he deserves a round of applause for his efforts at the weekend. We have been joined by our young Robert. Evening, Robert.
Evening, Ox. Thanks very much for that.
Hi, Robert.
Hi, Jaffa. Hi, Linda. Bridgeman.
Hi, Rob.
You thought it?
I was just going to ask him that.
Just about, mate. Just about. It was bitterly cold, let me tell you, throughout the night. And unfortunately, I didn't get to go pitch side to sleep because of the weather. But
Well,
let me tell you, that Broomland is freezing.
Concrete, mate. Concrete, yeah.
Oh, aye. The map was wafer thin as well. So as soon as you turned to roll over or try and get comfy again, you just get the coldness off the concrete. But no, it was a great effort by everyone that was there. I dare say there's about 100 of us that night. So credit to themselves and the club as well as a fan base. Great support.
How would you rate it as an experience? Was it an eye-opener? Let's be honest, Robert.
100%, mate. 100%. Even just the charity itself, the Glasgow City Mission, there was a representative there speaking to us before it, and she actually done the sleep out as well this year. And just hearing how they help people on the streets and what they do, and even when they're off the streets, they shelter, and then once they get accommodation, it really does open your eyes, and you realise that we are very fortunate in the position we're in, and one day it can just ultimately change, and you could be needing that support. So it was a real eye opener, mate. 100%.
Mm-hmm. And what about the actual experience of dealing with that and then having to function in that cold? Yeah, everything becomes difficult. Eh?
Aye, obviously it's only. I mean, it's one night. These people do it for days or weeks or months. Do you know what I mean? But the one night, it gives an insight to get up and go about your day. And once I got home, I went to my bed and just getting that warmth about you.
On?
No, I just wrapped myself around twice in the covers. I was like a mini sausage roll. But no, I just say it's going about that recovery on the Sunday. It was quite a draining day. Just it felt long, obviously, up from crack of dawn in the morning to then trying to function, going about the day with the kids and stuff. It's difficult. I don't envy anyone in that position, and the less people that are in that position, the better for Scotland as a whole. But the girl gave us a statistic that this time last year there was 7 persons on the streets of Glasgow. Fast forward to this year, we're now at 30, so it obviously is becoming a bigger issue, and it's not getting addressed, unfortunately. So events like this to raise awareness, raise funds to help people to not be in that position is a small part, but it's a massive contribution to the bigger picture.
I don't want to talk politics, but I don't care what politicians say. It's not a lifestyle choice. It can happen to anybody, mate.
No, I said that. I was on with GB the other night, and again, I didn't want to make it political, but personally, I don't feel enough's getting done, and we're quick to help others, and maybe not our own, which is a sad thing to say, and unfortunately, that is a harsh reality, but that needs to change in my eyes.
Aye, okay. Listen, we want to congratulate you. We're proud of you. You joined the show, I'm going to say, maybe 2 years ago as a caller. You got involved this year as a panellist, and we wanted to offer that to you. Linda?
Yeah, absolutely, Robert. Well done. As Ox says, we're very proud of you, and it does puts things into perspective. And as we say, we don't want to get political, but totally agree that more has to be done. It's right on our doorstep, and it's not something that people don't know is happening. So let's hope that certain things can change, Robert. But as I say, well done to you, a fantastic effort, and the Glasgow City Mission is a very worthy cause. Well done.
So people can still donate. Give us a website, Robert.
Yep, it's still I am open for around 30 days. I got confirmation of that this morning. So the website is tinyurl.com/Rob's Sleep Out. And as I said, any small donation, even if £1 per person, it goes a long way. And certainly before doing that, I didn't realise how far that could actually go. But certainly hearing it firsthand, the money will make a difference. Let me assure you that.
Did you see how many people some of the videos reached for the weekend, mate?
Just a few videos. Again, I tried to keep as much progress as possible. Signal wasn't too great inside the actual kind of concourse, as you'll know from match days and stuff, but the support that it got, just even the initial 20 minutes with GB before it, I knew that had racked up quite a fair amount of viewers. So again, I appreciate all the views and the support that everybody's contributed, whether that's been donations, sharing the page, whatever it may be. Again, yourselves here at the show, driving it forward as well, and the guys in the background doing the adverts and stuff. It's a big team effort that we've kind of done then to drive this as well. So personally, I'd like to thank you and the listeners, of course, as well.
No, not at all, mate. Pleasure. Jaffa?
Robert, that's you really are. Take my hat off to you, pal. What a great thing that you've done there, and highlighting, a terrible indictment that happens to a lot of young men, Robert, and women, but predominantly young men. And I think it's a great thing that you've done, and try to get more support and more eyes on it and more help to eradicate it, because we're supposed to be a third, we're a developed country, and we shouldn't be having that happening in this day and age. So I congratulate you on that, and well done, pal.
Last word for the bridge?
No, what can I say, Robert? Well done, pal. And everybody at Rangers Radio, I can assure you, they're all saying the same thing. Absolutely tremendous. And obviously, with the monies you're raising and getting raised, you can't do enough if you follow me. It's just fantastic. Utterly brilliant. Well done, pal. Great done.
Yeah, listen, I'm sure you'll have more to say tomorrow night, but we just felt it was important. We got you on the night, the first show back after you had your effort, mate, and done us all proud.
No, absolutely, mate. I'm sure I'll get questioned tomorrow night by the lads, but again, thanks for having me on, just to give that update as well. So I'll get the Techie Boys to post it again on the feed as well. I did see it on Facebook as well, somebody was asking, so I'll get that up. But thanks again for your continued support. I appreciate it.
No problem, mate. Speak to you tomorrow.
Take care, guys. Good night.
See you, Robert.
Night, Robert.
Cheers.
Good night, Robert.
Aye, what a man. Well done. Well done. We stayed out all night, Jaffa, but it was 70 odd degrees. It was a lot easier, wasn't it?
You better believe it. You better believe it. That's a difficult thing to do. That's a real. It really is. That's a great effort, Ox. Brilliant effort.
All right, we've been joined by Davy. How are we doing, Davy? Hello, Davy.
Hello, can you hear me? Aye.
Ah, we can hear you, mate. You all right?
Aye, not bad, pal. How's the panel, all right?
Good,
Hi,
mate.
Davy.
Good.
Hi, Davy.
David.
Aye. Guys, I just wanted to say, just before Robert came on there, I was trying to phone through just to say that it was a fantastic effort what he did at the weekend there. So, great as well for the coverage at Rangers Radio, supporting that cause. Absolutely great.
No, we're proud of him, mate. We're proud of him, and obviously young GB put himself out as well. We've got some tremendous people on this platform, mate, supported by tremendous listeners. Because you know something, we are the people.
Here.
Absolutely.
Are you wanting a stab in the dark of this year before I give you this major clue? It's going to blow their minds.
Well, I think that you're actually just playing with them. So I'd say sort of like, I'd go for 92.
92, right, okay. So the first clue was we lost the first competitive game of the season, yeah?
Yep.
Second clue was we lost the first 2 league games of the season. Third clue was we drew 2 games all season, Jaffa, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And the fourth clue is, when you hear this one, we lost 15 games that season.
That could be in all comps, I suppose.
15 games.
Right.
Overall games, the whole
Yep.
season.
Oh, anybody want to have a go? 15 games. I believe Mr. Fox is coming in. Mr. Fox is coming in. He's buzzed in. Mr. Fox.
Stab number 2. I'm going to go to the year we won the Cup Winners' Cup because we lost. We only won 1 out of the opening 4 games, I think. I think we get beat with the Tims and we get beat with, I think it was Thistle. And then we get beat again with one of the Dundee clubs.
Right, I'll give you the full start of the season, Fox, yeah?
Right.
In the year 71-72, we started off in the League Cup with a defeat to Celtic. We then lost to them again in the League Cup section. And the opening day of the league campaign, we lost to Partick Thistle 3-2. The second game, we lost at home to them 3-2. Yeah?
So am I right?
You're right. 15
Yes.
games that season. Yeah.
Brilliant, Foxy. Brilliant.
Well done, Fox.
Well done, Fox.
Well done, Fox.
I was only born in 71, I have no chance.
David, we've seen your picture, you're lying. Yeah, my. Well done, Fox.
Good shout.
Shows you done it, eh?
Knowledge is king.
No, but it just shows you, you know. People say, oh, crisis, this is terrible, that's terrible, you know.
Season we won the
15
Cup
games.
Winners' Cup.
15 games we lost that season, Jaffa. Then he stuck
That is
in the
quite
league.
incredible.
Yeah, knocked to the Cup with Hibs in the semi-final. You know, so, aye. Davey, what else is on your mind, mate?
Apart from being glad I was born that year, not a lot, but I'm just looking forward to the action starting again this weekend.
Oh, ain't me all. Bridgeman.
Yes, we're all desperately waiting for the season starting again for us, you know. I certainly want to see my team, you know, most assuredly. You know, we get lost in this, I don't know, it's false euphoria for me with the international team. It just isn't right, you know. I mean, all my days, you were a Scotland fan, you know. Now, it's just different. We just don't, you know. And I just find that strange. And it's difficult to fit it all in my psyche, you know. So, as far as I'm concerned, the first game involving Rangers can't come quick enough for me. I think it's a Saturday, not Saturday or Sunday we're playing them.
Sunday,
yeah. So it can't come quick enough for me. Let's see.
Yeah, and obviously it's a massive game, Linda.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's been times when we've come back from winter breaks and we've gone up to Aberdeen and we just haven't, we haven't performed as well as we would have liked. But as we talked about there about the new manager, you know, the bit of momentum that he's actually, he's built up. And I mean, you're not overconfident, but I just think that, before he came in, going up to Aberdeen would probably fill us with a bit of dread. But I don't know about you guys, I'm really looking forward to the game on Sunday. It would be interesting to see what sort of team he's able to put out as well. But it's a massive game, and it's some schedule we've got, Ox, through to the winter break, isn't it? I think it's 12 games we've got. So
I think I've got to say, listen, I'm the first to criticise the league, Linda, but I think it's superb what they've done this time. And I'll tell you why. It gives the Bears a chance to pick up their tickets on Sunday while they're up there for the final, you know.
That's quite a good one, Oxford. That's quite good, Oxford. Well done. Go through.
I'm joking.
Is AB2.
Aye, Jaffer, it's a big game, and obviously, if the league was to finish us now, if we beat them, that would be the only time we'd have to go there this season. Done, bang, done.
That would be wonderful. It is a big game, Ox, but a bit like Linda, I'm looking forward to it, Ox. I'm looking forward to seeing the Rangers again. I'm quite sure the players and the manager will be right up for it. Big game, Sunday, 12 o'clock kick-off. For me, it can't come quick enough. And as Linda says, we have got a really heavy schedule thereafter. I mean, we've got Limassol, and then we play St Mirren, Hearts, Dundee, and then Betis, Aberdeen, and then we've got the game that we should have played, the game in hand that we've got with St Johnstone on the run up to mid-December. So it'll be a busy schedule. It's a lot of football for the Rangers fans to take in, and no doubt it'll be in their thousands as they normally are up in Aberdeen at the weekend, Doc. So I'm looking forward to it.
Davey, it's a big game, and it's one of these games. It's only about getting a result.
Aye, for sure, aye. But we always know that they raise their game against us, not against other mob for the other side. But it's always a difficult gig up there. It really is, and especially after the winter break, the European break. I think it'll be quite difficult. So I just hope that with the players that we get back, hopefully we've got a few minutes in the legs and we can batter onto there.
Do you want to know what the next clue was, Linda, just before I go to bridge?
Yeah, go for it.
Between our last two games, there was 23 days. That was the next clue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We might have got it with that.
We played a game in the last league game in the 1st of May, and then we played that final 23 days later. There you go. Anyway. Bridgeman, in you come. It's all about winning at the weekend, and I'll be honest with you, if it meant getting the points, I'd take your entertaining Bridgeman result and down the road.
I'll tell you what, it's the guys have said it, I'll say it once again, not because it's the next game. It is the biggest game of the season so far, but it's a massive game. It really is. And simply because every game we've got to win, really and truly, it's the fact that we want to recover anything, we want to go forward anywhere, and if the manager wants to continue his good streak so far, we have to show these teams that we're better team. Certainly we've got to show Aberdeen we're a better team than we were against them at Ibrox. We were absolute rubbish. Simple as that. So we need to make up for that and go up there and just show them what we can do. I'm sure the manager's desperate to get that and see how they do it. It'd be really good for us to get a nice victory up there. It'd be great for the fans.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Aye, to right or wrong, Jaffer, I mean, let's be honest, we should have maybe the game dead and buried before they even got up the park that day, Ibrox, but we never.
No, it is, Ox. It's got quite a lot of riding on it, the game at the weekend, because it's got another significance, because the players, well, they'll, obviously, that's who we play in the final, in a couple, 3 weeks' time away. So it's a dress rehearsal for that. So and that means a lot, because obviously you want to see them up close and personal. You want to see how they're going to play against you. But more importantly, Ox, you want to absolutely turn them over. So from that perspective, there'll be a lot in the game. As far as I'm sure the Rangers players will be right up for it, and we've got to impose ourselves and just play our own game. And I'm sure if we do, we can really get. I think we can see them off well, Ox. To be honest with you, I don't rate them. I think they're so weak in so many areas of their game, and I'm hoping our manager, and I'm sure our manager will be all over stuff like that.
Yeah, we defended poorly, and there was a lack of confidence, and obviously we had a poor second half for two rash challenges, if I'll be fair. He was a bit naive, and that affected the game because we'd lost bad goals. And we got it back to 2-1, and 11 against 11, the game would have been different. But a question before we go to the tune. I'll start with Davey with us. Davey, ultimately, did that game against Aberdeen, because it was Michael Beale's last game, did it do us a favour?
I don't like games against him, to be honest with you, as I said
No,
earlier.
but the bad result does a favour because we got to change a manager.
Oh, without a doubt, aye. I think we've got a quality operator now in comparison to a coach. So, without a doubt, aye.
Mm-hmm. Linda?
Yeah, I would agree, Ox. I think it did us a favour because we just weren't playing well, and I know we had won a few games before that, but he was always just one defeat away, and the team just weren't playing well, and that needed to change. So I would agree, definitely did us a favour.
Bridgman? Jaffa?
Yes, it did, Ox. Aye. That was the straw that broke the camel's back, wasn't it? That day, they were booed off the park, and rightfully so. So it got the change. So it did do us a favour, Ox, because that needed to happen. It was like rip my plaster off, as Linda said. Every week we were only one game away from it, so it had to happen.
Mm-hmm. So you think we're in a better place, even though we dropped to 3 points, bad as it seems?
Absolutely, 100%. Yep, definitely in a better place, better manager in place, somebody that knows what he's doing, and you can see that with the upturn in results.
All right. Aye, it's strange what happens in football, Dave, here.
Oh, all the time, aye, all the time. But again, I think it's for the best. We've certainly got a guy in there that's focused, committed, and he wants us to be the best in every single aspect, as he said previously. And I think we can see the improvement in these players that we thought that weren't any good, to be fair. And he's getting a tune at them.
Aye. I'm still intrigued, Linda, and we'll touch on this, I'm sure. What position he's going to sign first? No who. What position? Yeah,
Ox, absolutely. Because we might have, some thoughts on it ourselves, but he's made the point as well that he's not got a chance to see a lot of the players as well and what they can actually bring to how he wants to play. I mean, he'll have obviously a system in his mind. We've seen some of it so far, but yeah, I think there's debate, isn't there? Do we need another centre forward, or are we looking at a left back, a midfielder, a winger? But yes, be interesting to see what happens going forward, and how much money would maybe be available to him as well. So that could influence it, couldn't it?
Mm-hmm. Right, okay. Get yourself a mute, because we're going to have a tune.
Across the broad Pacific shore, I sailed around the stormy capes and I'm there before the shore. I've climbed the Indian Ocean, I sailed the China Sea, but there's a sea back home in Scotland, more than all the rest to me. It's the blue sea of my love. The prettiest sight that I have ever seen. It's the blue sea of my love. And there's not gonna really get there. No more I'll sail the seven seas. No more I'll live on home. No more I'll feel the earth again. Saturday, I'll join the mighty throng. With flags and banners all around, I'll proudly sing this song. It's the blue sea of my love. It's the greenest Let me mistake that I have never seen. Routine of my love. And this myself and feeling that they are true. And this myself and feeling that they are true.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Okay, just want to change the tempo slightly and talk about how well our women's team is doing this season, Linda. Top of the league. They brought in a female manager, Jo Potter, who seems to be getting men and men out the squad, and hopefully they can go on and ultimately have a successful season.
Yeah, definitely, Ox. They had a good result yesterday, beating Glasgow City, and they beat Celtic a couple of weeks ago as well. So they're top of the league, I think, with 1 point. And they look as if they're playing a slightly different style of football, more attacking, and they've scored more goals. And Jo Potter's brought in a few players from down south as well, Ox, and I think they've made a bit of a difference. Added to that, there is still the nucleus of the Scottish players there, and they've got a few cracking young players that have come through too. So I think she said it's some of the best youngsters, female footballers she's seen in her time in football that are at Rangers just now. So well done to the Women's Academy. And they've got I think they've drawn Celtic in the semi-finals of the League Cup as well. So they're the holders of that. But she'll be wanting to win the league title back, Ox. But yeah, it's looking good for the women, so well done to them.
Aye. She's come in and done a good job, Jaffa. Well, I lost Jaffa.
I think he's on mute.
I'll be talking to yourself, Linda. You'll be talking to yourself. Aye. David, it's good to see the ladies winning it.
Yeah, always. Any Rangers team winning is always good, isn't it? And I think the progression they've made over the last few seasons, gone professional, has been remarkable. Do you think where we were a few years ago to where we are now? Winning trophies, up there, contending for leagues and titles. I think it's great.
Yeah. It's good. Young girls can go and watch the Rangers, and they can watch the women's team. But if they watch the Rangers, they've still got that dream that they can play bridge. It's fantastic, really.
Oh yeah, great opportunities for all the young lasses that want to be there, and obviously got lots of them round about the Rangers. Yeah, and I obviously I'm not a fervent follower of the women's football at all at the moment, but the news is there, telling us they're doing great. And Linda gave a great summary of what they're doing, so well done, Linda. That was great. I enjoyed that. I just hope they win everything. That's all. The Rangers, so let's win it.
I used to cheer the basketball team on, Linda.
Remember that? David Murray.
Any team with the name Rangers in it.
Absolutely.
I don't know. Texas Rangers, they're in the same conference as the Yankees. I like the Yankees.
I said to the wife 4 or 5 weeks ago, I think I'm going to buy one of these trucks named after a club, you know. And she said, what was that, the Ranger? I said, I want to buy one of them blue.
Not the Ranger. I'll tell you what, if you'd bought one of them, there'd be a wooden box in the back of it with you in it.
You're not far wrong there.
Oh, it's like the old saying, you always want to support 3 teams: Rangers, Rangers reserves, and whoever beats them.
I can't disagree with that. Did you say words no far away for that, Bridgeman?
All the words that were said there are absolutely true. Seriously. That's what we want. That's the kind of mentality I was brought up with anyway, and I'm still the same. Anyone that beats them, they're our friends. Well, it used to be like that anyway. I don't know so much now, but
No. Jaffa, being the father of some daughters, mate. The interest in football is growing within the female section of the community. It's fantastic, isn't it?
It is. It's brilliant, Ox. Yep, you're spot on. And with the reins that I had in particular, they all still wanted to kick the ball, and it's a great opportunity for any young woman to have that in their life if they still want to have that dream and follow the Rangers, exactly as you said. And I think that's wonderful, and I think the women's game's going to just continue growing and growing and growing, Ox. I'm not going to for a minute say it'll ever get close to where the men's football is, and probably never likely to, but it certainly is going to grow. I mean, you only have to look down south again at some of the crowds that the girls' teams are pulling for Chelsea and Villa and such like. But
40,000 at Old Trafford yesterday.
Exactly. So I can see our girls' team. I can see those numbers year on year just growing and growing. But Jo Potter's one manager's doing a grand job. She's brought a steeliness to the team and a real structure. And they do play some tidy football. It's not to be underestimated. It's highly entertaining. I've been to a number of games, and some of them are absolutely brilliant. I have to say the skill level and for the girls is really good. It's really, really high.
Yeah, Rio Hardy, 16 goals in 13 games. Not bad going, Linda.
Yeah, I think she's made a big difference, and so a lot of her goals are coming just in the 6-yard box. And she talked about that yesterday, but that's worth its weight in gold itself, Fox. You know yourself, they don't always need to come 30 yards for the goal.
You should go and text, train with the centre forward of the men's team.
She might have got a game a few weeks ago.
Aye. I think the girl Kirsty Howard as well is playing up front with them. They're sharing a lot of the goals, and I think young Kirsty get two months in a row. She got the Player of the Month award in the women's football up here, and then she also got her international debut as well. So they're getting recognised, for Scotland. And I don't know if Rio Hardy's in contention for England. Maybe not, because there's a lot of competition for their squad. But
they're still having the same pitfalls that some of the players that don't quite make it fall by the wayside and end up in snooker halls.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Well, no, a couple of guys who never quite made it, no.
I know. The Rangers Radio contingent.
On the one place, eh?
Oh, God. Security was called.
Were you playing for money, Linda?
Well, let's just say I didn't win very much. I'm waiting for the golf fountain, Jaffa.
Oh, the golf fountain could be entertaining. There's a few bandits in that, I think.
You need to be in charge in who's getting the strokes.
I'm worried about the windmill and that. Right, it's fantastic. Going back to Kirsty Howard, you mentioned 12 goals in 13 games as well, so why? They're proud, and we will have to talk about it more as the season goes on, because they deserve it, Jaffa.
They do, Ox. There's so many real lifelong Rangers supporters in that team. Nicola Docherty as well. She's a great stalwart of the Rangers women's team. There is, Ox, some cracking players in the team. I would encourage any fan that's to follow it, keep their eye on their matches and take yourself along to one of them if you can do it. It's highly entertaining and it's part of your club, and it's only going to keep growing. So I'm for one. I'm all for it, Ox. To be honest with you, it's a great addition to the Rangers family.
Yeah, couldn't agree more, mate. Couldn't agree more. So we'll keep an eye on it. We'll discuss it. Top of the League Cup semi-final coming up in the aim, but I suppose the aim win is to get into the Champions League.
Yeah, they obviously missed out on that. I don't think Glasgow City or Celtic women, they didn't progress, because I think that's another step up in standard as well, Ox. But you want to at least give yourself a chance to get there and finish in the top two. But they'll be really wanting to win the league. They did it 2 years ago and it was fantastic. But they'll be wanting to get that league title back.
Yeah. Right, talking about getting league titles back, I mean, we've got a team that's been reasonably settled, but we're not going to get through this 12 games with the same players. So there will be players coming in and out. Rotation, injury, suspension, Jaffa. So then what you think our best 11 is with everybody that's fit at the moment, in your opinion?
Our best 11 at the moment?
In your opinion?
Yep. Well, obviously Butland's, I think he's going to be our number one for all of us.
Would he your vote?
Sorry, Ox?
Would he your vote, Jack Butland?
Oh, yes.
Carry on, Jack.
Sorry, Jack.
That's all right. That's all right. And the back four, Ox, is maybe a wee bit more. There's a bit more variety and choices in it. Tavernier, Golson, Ben Davies, I would suspect, is probably holding the jersey at this moment in time. Don't get me wrong, I think that'll be shared between him and Balogun and Suter if he can get back from injury. And out in the left is the real problem area, Barisic or Yilmaz. But at this moment in time, I would probably go with Barisic as being a starter. And in the middle of the park, I would probably go with Lundstrom and Jack. Cantwell, in my opinion, our best 11 at this moment in time. Cantwell and I would move Sima in one in the 10 role, and I would have Tom Lawrence out in the left and Danilo up front. I would drop Lammers.
I would similar to that, but I would play Lawrence and have Sima where he's playing, mate. Anyway, we'll come back to that. We've been joined with our good mucker Denver. Evening, Denver.
Aye, good afternoon, boys and girls. How are we?
Aye, mate.
Hello, Denver.
Hi, Denver.
It's been a year.
Denver.
It's been a year. I looked up. It's been a year since I called you.
You're joking?
No, honestly, the last time I called you was when we had a conversation on should we sack Gio or should we keep him, and I went with keep him. So that's been how long ago it is, Ox? Aye.
To believe, mate. It's hard to believe.
I know. It's been some year. I've had an awful year. I almost lost my wife with a rare form of cancer, but she's on. Right. She's on remission now, Ox.
Oh, brilliant, mate. Brilliant.
I was forced to retire to look after her, and then all the years as an altar boy caught up with me. So I've had one of my knees replaced, and I'm getting another one replaced in January. So that all the years as an altar boy caught up with me.
I would say it's maybe taking an obligation, Denver, but that would be just me would say that.
Great news about your wife, anyway, Denver. Well,
aye, it's good that she got the all clear.
Brilliant. Things been important in football, mate. Yeah?
Oh, aye. I've listened to you most times, most days, you know. But aye, it's been a rough all year, you know. And but fortunately, she's in remission, and that's good. But anyway, and it's good to hear all you guys still to the fore as well. You know, you keep me going through all the rough times, you know. So thanks for everything, guys.
No,
Denver, I was watching a film the other night called Cold Pursuit with Liam Neeson in it.
Aye.
Based right next to Denver, and he had the big trucks clearing the roads and things like that. And I immediately thought of you. I thought, oh my God, he'll get a part in that fucking film, you know. Superb it was, superb.
Good stuff.
I can't believe it's been a year since we spoke, and you'll be right, Denver.
Aye.
But listen, regards to your life and your family, but I've missed you, mate.
Aye, thanks, Ox. I've just not had either the time or the wherewithal to call in.
We get it, mate. We fully understand, but we have missed you.
This is Thanksgiving week, so it's a big week for giving thanks for all the things we've been through. But anyway, we'll go back to the football and I watched the Aberdeen game, the game they beat us 3-1, and I can't believe the same players that played in that game are playing the way they are now. It's unbelievable, man. The change that big guy's brought to that team is incredible.
Remarkable. What do you think it is? Discipline, realism, simplifying? I don't know. Denver, put your finger on it.
I think a lot of discipline as well, Ox, and I don't know about the wee Michael Beale guy. I don't know whether he just made it too complicated or not. But the big guy, he's in there and he's not going to take any crap off anybody, because he knows because he made that statement before. Before he got the job, he looked and seen how a couple of managers previous, Gio and Beale, they only lasted less than a year. And he's not putting himself in that same position, So hopefully all these guys that have let us down there the last few years, he'll get a grip of them and either get rid of them or move them on or whatever, But I'm done with a lot of them, Ox. I'm so done with the way they've handed that Terrier mob all the trophies there the last few years,
Mm-hmm. Linda.
Okay, Denver, it's great to hear from you, as the guys were saying, and so glad that your wife's in recovery, and as I say, it's lovely to hear from you, Denver.
Aye, thanks, Linda. Thanks, great to hear from you.
Yeah, and just what you're saying about the team. I know we're trying not to think about the last couple of seasons, 2 or 3 seasons, Denver, aren't we? All those trophies, and we should have had a few more in the bag. But I think we're all just want to look forward now, and some of the players, you're right. I don't know if it was all down to Beale or it was their attitude or what. And when Clement came in, he had to really work with the cards that he was dealt with, Denver, because he couldn't really even drop anybody because there were so many players on the treatment table. But he's starting to get a few back now, Denver, so it'll be interesting to see, how they play and, if he can make some changes at times, maybe a better quality of player even coming in. I don't know about you, but I'm kind of looking forward now, and I'm looking forward to watching the team, albeit I take your point that some of them should have been playing better even under Beale.
Aye. You know what, Linda, see when you say you're looking forward to the game, I watch every game, and honestly, it felt as if you were going to your work on a Monday morning, every game. It was just dreadful, wasn't it? Oh, man. And you never expected anything. Oh, God. Just make you mad.
I've done first. I think it was a Sunday shift after a Saturday night out.
Aye, but at least you were getting double time for a Sunday shift, Ox.
But there was still some sore ones, mate. You know what I mean?
Dullions, man, dullions. That. As I say, I deliberately sat and watched that Aberdeen game a couple of days ago just to see if it was the same guys. And gee, I can't believe the difference. Unbelievable, But we just need to go on with it, and that's it. And I've got faith on this big guy. I think this big guy is going to be. We need to win that League Cup though. That's the key to the whole thing. Need to win that, get that silverware. And AK is always talking about getting back to winning the silverware, and I agree with him.
Jaffa.
Hi, Denver. Good to hear from you, pal. It really is good to hear from you. You've been in my thoughts quite often. I know you've not been on, but and I'm glad to hear your wife is keeping a lot better, and hopefully that continues.
Thanks, pal.
Denver, out of curiosity, since you've watched that game back just so recently, what do you think the main difference stood out for you from the same players then? I'll ask you a quick question.
I get we were in that playing the ball across the park and all that, and nobody was running into space. That one of the things I always scream at the telly about is, when you pass the ball, you're supposed to move and be available. to get the ball back, and it seems as if they're doing that now. They're playing the pass and then moving into space to receive the ball back, and that's the big change I can see at the moment, you know. But see, I was almost greeting watching that again. I'm saying, why the hell am I doing this?
I guess it must be quite a good contrast, though, to have watched that and compared to some of the football. I mean, I was at the Sparta game a week past on Thursday, and I sat and watched genuinely Denver, see the first 45 minutes, see the movement of the players off the ball. It was absolutely brilliant to watch. It was the rotation of players moving through from midfield into front areas. I said to you, sat in the 18-yard box of the opposition. And really pinned them back. It was the back four were pushing up. It was tremendous. I mean, that certainly they had to at half time. Half time came at the wrong time, but I mean, we should have been at least 3 or 4-0 up at half time. That game should have been done and dusted. So the football's it's much. Well, I'm sure you've watched it on the telly. The results tell their own story, but the football's much better. I have to be honest with you, but I still think there's more to come, Denver.
I would agree with her, Jeff. You know, it's sad to think how poor they were, and it was the same players. You know, there's a lot of things you need to look into there. You know, the old school. You know, Tav and Golson and all them. You know, and Borna. You know, I'm still finding it hard to trust these players, Jaffa. You know, I just find it hard to. They've let us down so many times. You know, but. We'll go with the big guy, big Clement. He's the man. They're not going to take any crap for him, you know. So
I think he would batter them, Denver.
He'd batter all of them.
With one hand behind his back. And you know, another great thing is they've got the fans back on board, because how embarrassing was it, you know, in the games where like 20 minutes to go and the place was empty. Oh God! You know, my missus came into one of the games. I can't remember what game it was. She came in and she said, "Where is everybody? There's still 20 minutes to go." And I said, "Well, that's the crap you're getting served up, you know." So, but so anyway, onwards is upwards, as you guys always say, and hopefully we get a couple of signings in the winter break, and we'll move forward from there.
What positions for you, Denver?
The problem I've got at the moment is that Lammers and Dessers are no good enough, and I would replace them, or one of them anyway. Danilo, I think, is going to be a fantastic player with us, but unfortunately we've got long-term contracts with Lammers and Dessers. I don't see what they two bring to the table at all. Maybe another Hogden midfield player, because is Lundstrom out of contract this season as well, Ox?
Yes, mate. Yes, his contract's up in the summer, mate.
So him and Jack. So we're going to need somebody to replace them. I would give Lundstrom another contract. I would get shot at him, and I'd get shot at Jack as well. And I think we need to find a new left back. Somebody to play that left back position, you know.
Makes a lot of sense. Jaffa, then Bridgman.
Yep, exactly the same for me. Denver, Holden area in the middle of the park. I think we should replace that now. If we can get somebody in January that the manager sees as a long-term fit. I know they always say the January transfer window is more difficult than the summer one. And most definitely the left back position. And I would probably, if Barisic is going to go, I would retain Yilmaz. If Yilmaz is going to go and back to Turkey, I mean, Barisic is going to go at the end of the season, isn't he? So we definitely need a left back and some midfield. But I also agree with you on the Dessers and Lammers situation, Denver. I would probably, if there's a taker there for either of them, I would let them go.
Yeah, I don't know how you're going to manage that one, Jaffa, but there you go. Bridge.
It's a loan, isn't it?
Oh, anything, mate. Bridgman?
Yeah. Listen, Denver, I hope your knee's good, the one that you got done. and I hope they're successful with the next one and get back to work if you can. I don't know if you're interested in get back to work, but if you can get back to work, keep yourself active.
No, I'm quite enjoying this retirement lark.
I know. I love it, by the way. I love it. And my wife says that to me. Do you know want to go and do something? No. No, but back to the football. I think Clement, he might be a wee bit frustrated as well because he knows these players have got to see him through until at least January, before they can actually make any changes. But there's a huge improvement in the team, massive improvement. He's turned some of the players around 100%, Ain't rude, isn't it? No bother. And yes, one of the boys kind of laughed about it. Maybe they were feared for him or something like that. And that's the truth. Maybe they are feared for him because he's a big fella. And just looks like Jaap Stam, right? That big Jaap Stam with Man United.
Aye.
A big hard boy, That's the way I look at him. I think he's an amazing character. And as soon as he gets to stop talking to the Scottish press, the better. I don't mean stop talking to him, I mean talk less to him. Because they just want to drive everyone out of him or drag everyone out of him. Just be curt and gentlemanly. And he's brought back wearing collar and tie at the side of the track there. I'm happy with that. I think he's a great manager and he's going to be great for us. And I want him to buy a big, giant centre half, 6'5", 6'6", an animal. That's what I want.
He's consistent, Denver, isn't he?
Aye.
That's a year and 8 days you've been off for. A year and 8 days, and Bridge hasn't changed a bit.
I know, and I remember him talking about that when we got beat with that Progress Nederhorn mob, and he was talking about that then. So you know how long ago that was.
I've erased that one from my memory, if I'm honest.
There's some things they're scar tissue, New York's. That's it. Scar tissue for life.
How do you think the club's going, Denver?
Seems to be going well, Ox. I'm excited to get back and see the new museum and all that
You'll
stuff.
You'll enjoy it, mate. You'll enjoy it.
Getting a lot of good feedback about that. I was thinking about flying back for the League Cup final, but then I thought I've not been to a game since the game when I was back, mind for the Braga game, where we come back from 2-0 down, and that's coming up on 4 years. So I just felt it wasn't fair for me to take a ticket that, somebody's been going every week. So I just said, no, I'll just stay and watch it in the house, There's a lot of positivity about the place. The figures weren't that great for the financial figures, but I think Bisgrove and Bennett, they'll get it together. I like that Bisgrove guy. I think he's a smart cookie,
Aye, there's good and bad in the accounts because obviously we've put a lot of money into the club as well in infrastructure, but we had to do some of the signings and some of the revenue. Kamara, obviously the Bassi, that money's there, Jaffa, but Kamara, Cholak and Fashion Sakala, they're no one the accounts that's come out this year, yeah?
Yeah, exactly, and obviously I think the probably the bad in it, Ox, is the fact that the wage bill's too high, and that needs to be addressed. But it's not something that's going to change quickly. But it's certainly in the next 2 to 3 years when they some of the big contracts that have been given out, I think they really need to look at that and they need to get a balance better on the wage structure, Ox. But I'm sure the club know that. In fact, I'm 100% sure. Another thing as well that's in those accounts is all the Champions League bonus monies that we're all paid for getting to the Champions League. People forget that these players have got all this stuff written into their contracts. The minute we qualify, there's huge bonus structures in there, and they've all got to be paid, and that's just the way it goes. So, it's a necessary evil, so to speak. But it's something they definitely need to keep their eye on, Ox. They need to keep their eye on the wages that's going back out the door.
I agree, mate. I agree. But it depends if you get the balance right, Denver. If your wage bill can come up, if you're getting them, you've been clever and you're signing Jack Buckland's on bigger contracts, the transfer fees, is it?
That's right, yeah. That Butland signing, that went way beyond anything I expected with that big guy, I didn't know anything about him, Ox, you know. But he's been a star, and he seems to conduct himself in a great Rangers type manner, and I love that about him. I loved listening to the big guy, you know. And of course, Linda's got the cardboard cutout now as well. So
I was just going to pass this to the Jack Butland expert, Linda.
I think it's 2 cutouts I've got, Denver, but don't tell anybody.
There's a name for that, Linda. There's a name for that.
Well, yes, aye. Not on here, not in a family show. I think with Jack Butland we're all a bit frightened in case somebody comes in with big bucks for him, and you know, we're talking in the accounts, and John Bennett was talking about the player trading model, Denver, and how we need to get better at that. But let's hope Jack's still here for maybe another couple of seasons anyway. But they're going to have to come in with a lot of serious money if they want him, Ox, I think.
Well, everybody's got their price. That's just modern football. But, you know, if the price is enough, we can maybe give them. They can get one, they can get another one free, Denver.
Aye, well, you know, the thing is, though, that if hopefully we win this League Cup, and I don't think that big guy's won anything in his career. And, you know, you get that taste of that silverware, Ox, you know. And maybe then he'll get him to stay on, you know. I think it'd be... I hope we keep him. I hope because he's a rock we've got at the moment, you know. Some of the saves he's made when he's been doing nothing in the last couple of weeks, and then he pulls it out of the bag has been incredible. That's McGregor and Andy Gorham style stuff, you know.
He's been consistent, and even that Prague game, just the last minute, the corner comes in, he just clears everybody out, comes and takes it, game finished it.
Aye, it's that confidence factor with the defence as well, Ox, you know. It's great to see, man. Great to see.
Yeah. But you will enjoy the museum, Denver. It's really what they do, and these things have just come on stream, and the next accounts, Jaffa. So this revenue or the interest, Edmondson House, it's all positive, eh?
Absolutely, Ox. Aye, I mean, like the thing you always think about with the accounts is that they're nearly 12 months out of date, or at least 10 months out of date by the time we actually get to see them. So you've always got to put that into perspective, that's the picture 10 months ago. So, aye, and listen, the club's in a good and a healthy standing, and we've been doing so many infrastructural projects around about the club, and that's going to continue. I mean, the new bar's going to open up soon, you know, and to use John Bennett's words, you know, they're developing the Rangers campus, as he described it, as an ongoing project. It's always going to be there. But bearing in mind that every time that you're doing some of these infrastructural projects, you're generating income with the new lounges and stuff like that. And I understand, you know, and I'm no different from any other fan. You know, it's getting the balance and act. We all want to see the players on the park. I get that totally. And let's hope that with Clement in place, as you say, Denver, winning that first bit of silverware. It's amazing how that can change a dressing room when players start to get the taste of it, that winning mentality. It's almost, it's like a drug in many respects. You know, you get a hold of it and you think, wait, I want more of this. And hopefully that can push them on and springboard them on to really mount a serious, you know, challenge to that other lot. With a game coming up against them in the Nerdy game at Parkhead. So that's the short term, and then you've just got to wait and see the rest of the things falling into place after that.
And you come, Denver?
Aye, exactly. You know, the biggest disappointment I've got is after we did the 55, we didn't consolidate on that and move forward. We stood still and we thought everything was done. And I can't even tell you how it rankles with me how many times we've handed trophies to other teams. It just bugs me dreadfully, you know. But fortunately, we're moving forward, and hopefully we win that League Cup. And as you say, it becomes that drug then, Jaffa, you know, and you know, move on to better things, you know. Do you guys think we can win the league? Do you guys think we can still do it?
Yep.
Good choice.
I totally do, mate. If we can win our games up till we play them,
aye.
And even if we didn't win that, I still think we can win the league, mate.
Aye.
Yeah, but this game on Sunday, as a springboard, because obviously we've got a couple of games that you would fancy us to win. We've got some tricky ones, you know.
Aye. The problem with this Sunday's game, I can see, is how much they've been slagged. Aberdeen been slagged by Lion down to Celtic a couple of weeks ago. And so they're going to be up for it even more than normal. But I still think we can do it. I think Clement's got that good winning mindset in the team, and that's what we need to do. Again, Ox, it's what you've been saying all season, is we're not clinical enough. You know, you look at the Prague game, we should have been done by half time. And that's the one thing that still concerns me, you know.
Aye, I don't disagree with you. You've got to score goals. Bridgman.
Would you say our first Ox there? I heard you saying something I couldn't make it out.
I agree with Denver. You've got to score goals.
Oh yes, 100%. One of our weak links, or has been anyway. Danilo's got to do it because he looks a bit player man at the moment. We had seen it naturalised this season, and now Danilo seems to be a light in a long dark place. We need to be able to rise above it, starting this weekend. And as you said, if Doc's just said there, if we can run to the end of the season undefeated until the end of the year, until we play them, and if we beat them, then it's the world's your oyster, you know. There's nobody going to touch us. Nobody's going to touch us. There's nobody will stand up against us. At the present moment, there's still people are not got a problem challenging us because our team were quite weak, particularly in the midfield. So they could pass past us, you know. Now it's a different game, different ball game entirely. So let's hope we do it. I'm desperate for it. Let's come on.
Yeah, Danilo. What do you think of Danilo with Denver? We've not seen that much here, but what are you thinking?
His movement's great, Ox. His movement, and he sees things. He sees passes. His finishing needs to improve a wee bit, but I think we're going to get a lot of goals out of that wee guy. Get the right guy next to him. I think maybe Big Seema. Maybe Big Seema next to him, I think, would be my choice. I like Big Seema, but I think he's wasted out on that left wing, Ox. You know, I think put him through the middle with Danilo, and I think that'd be a great combination.
Wonderful thoughts, Danilo.
Yeah, Danilo's he's hopefully going to be a really big player for us. I agree with Denver. I think I know he had that injury, but in chances created for him, Denver, he could maybe even have double. I think he's got 6, but you know he could have 10 anyway, double figures. He's missed a lot of chances, but I suppose that's what happens to forwards. But I would like to see he's been more clinical, because even somebody like Dessers, although his overall play's been poor, he's had lots of chances to score as well. Denver, I think even under Michael Beale, when the team was playing quite poorly, they should have been scoring more goals even during that time. So I'd like to see that change and to take more of the chances that's being created.
Jaffa?
Yep, I like Danilo Denver. I like him a lot. I think his movements, his finishing certainly could probably be bettered. He needs to spend a bit more time on the training ground and sharpening up on that aspect. But don't get me wrong, that's not a criticism. He's finishing. That goal against Sparta, I've said it on the show, Denver, a couple of times last week, for me was brilliant. It doesn't look a lot. He totally makes the goal himself, just by sheer desire to get the ball off the guy. You know, 3 touches, one to get the ball off him, pulled it down with his right and slotted it away with his left. I loved it. I just thought it was a brilliant goal, brilliant striker's goal. And he's got that, and he's pacey, and he sees things, as you say. He sees space that other players don't see. But I would like to try Seema in beside him, Denver. I'd like, because I mean, as far as I understand it, and I think Billy Reid down at Brighton has said this about Seema. Seema's a striker. He plays through the middle. He doesn't play out in the wing. So if that's the case, I would probably like to try Seamer. We've not had a chance to do it yet because we've needed him out in the wing because we've not had Andy. But I would now that Tom Lawrence is back, I would put Lawrence out in the left and bring Seamer in one and put him in a number 10 role right in behind Davilo, and see what the two of them can create. I mean, I'm not saying that Saturday's maybe the game to do it, but then again, why not? Against Aberdeen, because their weakest part of their teams are defence. They're absolutely, I mean, they're not that great at the back at all. They leave so many gaps in between them. I think if Danilo's up for it at the weekend, I think we can turn them over, Denver. And then I would have Cantwell on the other side just for his creativity. We're sitting with Ryan Jack and Lundstrom in behind the two of them. So that would be my front four. We Cantwell, Seaman in the middle, and Tom Lawrence out in the left, and Danilo through in the middle.
Denver?
Do you think that, I always think when we Danilo, you're not trying to tell me that mask he's got on is not a distraction, because it's not a natural thing. So I'm going to put down the misses he's had in front of goal down to wearing that mask. That's what I'm putting it down to. I think once he gets that clear.
Yeah, his finishes get better since he had the mask.
I don't agree with you at all. He wasn't up to speed before he had the mask in, but I just think it's not a natural thing to have on him, and I think it becomes a wee bit of a distraction. So I'm looking forward to being rid of that mask and battering in a few goals, But I love the wee guy. I love his attitude. He reminds me a lot of wee Fashion when I saw that interview with a big cheesy smile and all that. I love it. I love to see guys enjoying their self at Ibrox,
That's Fashion Chicago, and I thought he got a wee bit of a raw deal, if I'm honest, after the previous manager. And the two managers, if I'm honest. You know what happened to Seville, and then obviously Michael Beale didn't fancy him. Maybe you get money for him, Linda.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about Fashion was he would have a really good game, and then he would do some really brilliant things in the games, and then he would do some really terrible things. And he also used to get caught offside a lot when he didn't really need to, because he had the pace. But I don't know, Ox, it was a good opportunity for him to leave, wasn't it? We got some good cash in for him, and I don't think he could knock back the offer from Saudi Arabia.
Did you see the picture of him in one of your ex-cardboard cutouts?
Yes. It was I did. But you're going to just say one of my exes.
What did you do with the old cutouts, Linda? Do you shove them in the closet or something? Or do you,
they're in the garage.
Ceremoniously bumped in the back garden.
They're all under the bed.
Bridge, that's correct. But I don't think I would ever do that to Jack Butland.
When she gets up, she bangs her feet off the ceiling.
Got a wheelbarrow. She named the wheelbarrow the cutout burner. Here we go.
Jack Butland won't be getting that fate, whatever happens.
Oh, I don't know about that.
It's the white strip he's got on. Wonder.
It was very clean, wasn't it?
Keep it clean.
Would you do his washing, Linda?
Oh, absolutely.
Take much, Linda.
I was just going to ask you, how many times have you watched the wee Christmas video? But he's in that, and he's very handsome in that.
I thought that was. Yeah.
I think you watched it a few times, Linda.
I have watched it a few times, but also because Gaza's in it, Bridge, and a wee cameo for him at the end.
There's a few in it. Is Bridge? I know you've seen it. Have you seen it, Denver?
I have seen it. I loved it.
Pretty good, wasn't it? I'm going to be honest. Yeah.
Good stuff.
I bet you that was off making that.
I can't believe you guys are showing Christmas stuff and it's not even Thanksgiving yet here. So I'm not letting you away with that one. Thanksgiving is this Thursday. So.
I can't read the last message. Aye. Let's just say it's concerning Linda or cardboard cutouts and where they ended up.
Cardboard cutouts.
Oh dear. It was funny, the old Christmas message. Well done, and there's a sense of professionalism coming about the club in a lot of different departments, Jeff.
Aye, absolutely, Ox. It was a great video. It was well put together. Good thinking with the production team, whoever came up with the idea, and it's good to see all the old players. I think they nailed it. To capture all the different generations and the. Laugh, it makes you smile, and that's a good thing. Surely at this time of year, that's the way it should be. But yep, Ox, it's an improvement for some of the nonsense that we've been getting out. As I said the other night in the show, I think the digital media side of the club is something they could work on a lot better.
Aye, never ends. Better never stops, Linda.
Yeah, continuous improvement, isn't it, Jaffa? We just want the club to get better, and they seem to be making changes in the different departments as well. John Bennett, since he came in, he's made some changes, so let's hope that'll bear fruit. But see, really, we need to start winning things, don't we? I know it's one game at a time, but as Denver said earlier, that League Cup is, if we could win that, it would, there's a few games before that, I understand that, but if you can win that League Cup, it just gives you hope, and it gives you confidence going forward.
A springboard, hopefully. Hopefully there's a lot of football to be played before we get there, Denver, but hopefully.
Aye, it's so what do we need to qualify? How many points do we need to qualify for the
the separate? That's it, done.
Is that it? Once or one game?
Done.
If we could just get that out of the line, that was another joke game, wasn't it? Oh, God.
That wasn't the worst this season. That was the worst Aberdeen game, if I'm honest.
Aye. I felt for Stevie Davis that night, having to deal with that nonsense. I'll tell you, that was just criminal the way we played that night. Oh my God. The one good thing about being retired now is I can watch the games live during the day on the midweek games. I can, on behalf, I don't need to wait till I get home from work when you guys are all talking about the game and tell me all about it, and then I've got to watch it when I get home. Now I can watch it as you watch it, so that's good.
Every cloud and all that, Denver.
Right, aye, exactly. Although I was thinking about really dark clouds at that game in Limassol. Oh my God. No, dark clouds, but a big raincoat and an umbrella as well, man. Oh God. It was awful.
Let's just say it was a hangover for the previous regime, and then bang, the bubble burst, Jeff, innit?
Aye, that was probably the end, of where we were in that really bad period with the whole Michael Beale scenario. The Aberdeen game, and then that game, as you rightly say, Denver, exactly the same as yourself. I was wanting to put my head in a pot of boiling water. I mean, it was brutal. Just watching that night, I couldn't believe we could play so badly, but we did, and we got what we deserved out of the game. It was terrible, but in a lot better place now, and obviously again we owe them one as well. Denver, bringing them back to Ibrox, we owe them a performance, that team, and we owe them a result.
Oh yeah, I think in retrospect, and I don't want to go back to the Beale thing, but my comment on it is he should have gone after the Celtic game. That was when he should. That's when the board. That's the only mistake the board made, is keeping him on after that. That was what I think. So anyway, move on. So
the writing was on the wall. See, once people and fans start talking about that, Linda, 9 times out of 10, the manager's gone, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely, Ox. And after that, I know we were winning games, but as we said earlier, the performances were awful. I think we beat Betis at home. That was a 1-0 game, and they played quite well in that game. But then we just lapsed into the terrible stuff again. struggled to beat Motherwell at home. We then had a reasonably good result, maybe Livingston. And then, as we said earlier, he was always just one result away from being sacked. And then obviously that came against Aberdeen. But I agree with Denver. The Limassol performance was an absolute shocker, and the person we felt most sorry for that night was Stephen Davis. I mean, he did his best, but he got a good result against St Mirren. That was an important away win that time, Ox, when you think about that, how badly we'd been playing. But you're right. It's more about going forward and. Seeing from the accounts coming out as well, Ox, it is important that we get through this Europa League, isn't it? We need to get,
massive,
massive
interest, points, coefficient, prize money. Jaffa, massive, isn't it?
Oh, it is, Ox. I mean, it glares in the accounts, Linda. When you see it, I think it was like £17.5 million, and that's money that we absolutely need as a club. That is huge. We need that income coming in at that kind of level, if not more than that. If we can even double it, even better. But we need the minimum of that Europa League, sort of getting to the last 32, and then if you as we know ourselves. It's a luck of the draw after that. I'm not for a minute saying we're good enough to go to any finals. I would never say that. But the luck of the draw and a wee break, and us getting to the last 16 of the Europa League, for me is probably a bit where we would like to be. Don't get me wrong, I'd love to go to the final again. But if you get to the last 16, I think you've done not too bad as a season goes. But going back to the main point, and Denver, you said it right at the start when you come on. Getting silverware is all that matters this season for me, and winning that league's a priority. But the springboard to it's winning that League Cup, because that gives the players the confidence. It almost endorses the good work that everybody's doing, and it gets them to understand the standards that it takes to start winning silverware. And players are creatures of habit. You just keep doing the same thing, and that's what they've got to keep doing.
Yeah. Another good thing is, when we do win these trophies, and when we do win these trophies, it's a double whammy as far as revenue is concerned. It takes money up of them and money on us. That's the reality of Scottish football. Denver, innit?
Yeah, just getting to that, winning that final make all the difference, Ox. I mean, it's been so long since we last. What was it, 2011 or something? Was the last time we won that?
Yep. Yelovic's goal.
Goal, wasn't it? Aye. My boy Sam, that was his first memory of winning a trophy. And then the next one is, the 55 one. It's unbelievable, the way all of us have grown up watching winning trophies. It's springboard, Ox, but definitely a springboard, man.
Hope so, especially when we've got this manager, Lindera. He's got something about him.
I think so. He's a winner, but I mean, he does have to obviously put that into practice. But there's just a certain. It just feels a lot different. I think we took a bit of a gamble with Michael Beale. As Denver says, a lot of people didn't think he should have got the job, but some people did. This feels different because he's got experience. He's won things as a manager. But it's also just the way that he started, Ox. There's, some of the performances could still be better. He's looking for improvement, but, you're talking about 6 wins out of 7. I mean, we would have taken that no problem when he got the job.
Yeah, it's interesting. You can make stats mean anything. Just look at the 71-72 season, Jaffa.
Exactly. I mean, that's a great way of highlighting that, Ox. What was it? We lost 14 games that season, but we still won the Cup Winners' Cup.
Aye. Unbelievable. Right, listen. I thought young Robert coming on was a highlight of night, Denver, because of what you've done for Rangers Radio and the Rangers Charity Foundation. But the fact that you've come on tonight, mate, I can't believe where the time's went. And I don't want to go into too much of your story, but I'm glad it's turned out all right. But God, boy, have we missed you.
Thanks, guys. It's always my pleasure. to be on here and be part of this discussion team. Keeps me going as an ex-El Bear. I'll be 27 years I've been in Denver this year. So, and you can notice I've adopted the Denver accent, so we're good to go.
Last word for your good self, Linda.
Yeah, it was a great show tonight, Ox. Really enjoyed being on. Some great callers, and as you say, lovely to hear from Denver, and well done, young Robert. Looking forward to the weekend. So good night, everybody.
Jaffa.
Yep, thanks for having me on, Ox, as always, on Rangers Radio. And Denver, great to hear from you. Lovely to be on the bridge. And as I said, we are the people.
Bridgeman.
No, what can I say, Ox? Yeah, fantastic night. Well done. Thank you for yourself. And of course, the techie boys in the background. Big thanks to them. And of course, Linda and Jaffa for carrying me through tonight. And can I just say to the Denver Bear, what an absolute pleasure it is to hear him. Absolute pleasure. And I wish him nothing but the best for his retirement. And keep your health up, boy. Keep your health up. And can I just say to all the Rangers fans listening in all over the world, particularly Rangers fans on here on Rangers Radio, every single one is, please keep it going for the Rangers because they need us. So they do. Keep it going.
Can I thank Davey who joined us? Very good to hear Davey. Of course, my mucker Southside. The Fox, yes, the wily old Fox who come in and go to the trivia, right? Robert who joined us about the big sleep out at Ibrox. But Linda, Bridgeman and Jaffa for doing the show, but the man who stole the show tonight, the one and only Denver Bear. Well, missed you. Thanks for listening. Stay safe. And we'll be back tomorrow night between 8 and 10 talking about all things Rangers. Take it away, old school boy.